Hey guys, so at long last I'm going to do my palette declutter, and I thought I would start by kind of giving you an overview of where I have my palettes stored so you can maybe appreciate sort of the size constraints I have. I'm holding this camera, so I hope I can keep it steady enough so that no one feels nauseated. The far left is one of those IKEA carts that everyone has. It's in a gray color, and I'm pretty sure those are still available. This desk is from IKEA also, but I don't think it's being made anymore. You can probably find something similar, but I like it. It's, you know, it's taken a few dents and scratches here and there, but for IKEA I think it was pretty good quality and not too expensive. I also have the little IKEA stool there. Not the most comfortable if I'm filming for a longer period of time. It gets a little hard, but anyway. Just some random storage boxes under there, a little trash can. And then I have this, what do they call it? It's kind of like the IKEA unit, but it's just a 2x1. And I got it from Target. That bin is also from Target, and then I think you have the option of getting a sort of a divider shelf, so the top squares divide into two, and then that bin, I'll show you here, is also from Target. That just basically slides in where those top containers are, but I went ahead and put it on top just so I could kind of have easier access to it for this video. This container organizer is from by Allegory, and it works pretty well. These little dividers are removable, so you can adjust the width if you like. And I do have an Alex store system, which I can show you guys at a later time. I don't have any palettes, like eyeshadow palettes, in the Alex unit. I just have, I don't know, maybe some of the quads in it, is about as big as that gets, but for the most part I have all of my eyeshadow palettes out here. So I have in this trolley, like I showed you, or cart, I have this letter organizer that has a bunch of palettes that I'm going to go through. And then in the drawers here, this is all palettes, not necessarily all eyeshadow palettes. As you can see, I have this blush palette here, but I will go through all of that. So anyway, I'm going to pull out all these palettes and I will show you what we're dealing with. Okay guys, so that is all the palettes that I have, that I know of anyway. I emptied out that bin, I emptied out that drawer, and I emptied out that letter holder that I showed you. So I'm going to kind of do a preliminary sort just to make this a little bit more manageable to go through, and then I will pick up and show you the actual palettes. Okay guys, I'm going to give you another quick overview. You can see my iced coffee there before I actually sit down and sort through, but I just thought I'd kind of give you an idea of where we're going in case I have to break this up. So in this container I put Lorac, Urban Decay, Smashbox, Too Faced, and I think one random Tarina Tarantino palette. So I think those are all the brands in here. I try to keep sort of similar price points or sort of brand aesthetics. So anyway, that is in that container. Over here I have some stuff I've already kind of I guess decided to get rid of, and I have already put it on eBay or will put it on eBay. So that's there. Just some, there's a cat. Some random kind of face palettes. I have Bare Minerals, It Cosmetics, Laura Mercier, Kiko, what else? Bobbi Brown, Lancome, Makeup Geek, sort of drugstore palettes, NARS, just kind of some random ones, Paula's Choice, Ofra, Inglot, some Butter London, MAC, and Anastasia. And then this basket, I have Stila, Tarte, The Balm, I think that's mostly it, Body Shop, just some random kind of brands where I don't have any other palettes to put with. And then finally this little guy, I have Viseart, Erin, Becca, and Hourglass. Okay guys, so I set up my tripod on top of my desk or vanity, and hopefully this is a good angle. Hopefully the lighting is good. I tried just turning on the ring light and there was a bit of a glare, so I thought I would go ahead and just film it like this and see what happens. So as I mentioned, I have some things that I've kind of already decided to let go of, either giving them to friends or family or selling them. I'm not comfortable, you know, just sending used or even new makeup to people in the comments, so please don't request that. It's just not, you know, I do giveaways periodically, so I think that's the best way for me to give back to my viewers, rather than just kind of one-on-one ad hoc. So my eBay account, I will link it below. It's basically the shortened version of my channel name, which is Lil Night Makeup, LILNITEMAKEUP. And most items will be fixed price, so not an auction style. And I think eBay has it so that the best offer option is automatically enabled, and I haven't found a way to take that off. When I price things, I search for that item on eBay and kind of see what the going rate is, and usually I price it at the bottom end of that based on quality and all of that. I do consider best offers, but if you offer like half of what I've asked, there's not a very good chance I'll take it, just because I've already tried to price things fairly according to what they're going for on eBay, and taking into account eBay charges the 10% fee of the final value, and of course shipping, whether I kind of work shipping into the price of the item or if it's an added cost to you. So I try to do things fairly to begin with, so I just wanted to put that out there. So one thing I do have on my eBay channel, or eBay account, I guess, seller account already, is the M Shade Play. This was before she reformulated. This is in the Casablanca Neutrals. I got this as sort of a gift through Ipsy when I was still subscribed, so I never used it, as you can see, and I'm also including a mascara and lip gloss that I also received through eBay. So if you're interested in kind of trying out the discontinued version of her cosmetics, that is for sale. I haven't listed this yet, but I plan to. This is the Jouer, Ready to Wear Palette in Cool. Again, never used it. eBay doesn't allow you to sell used makeup. I think some people kind of bend the rules on that one, but all of the products I sell on eBay are unused. If I do sell used makeup, it's through Lambot. I've done that once before, and I'll probably do it again. I don't think they give you... I did a video on it if you're curious about my experience and what I sold and what I received. I think I got around $40-some, which wasn't as much as I had hoped for, but again, it's kind of the best option. I don't have enough of a viewer base to do things strictly through YouTube or Instagram or anything like that. So for me, selling new makeup through eBay is the best option, and then I'll just use Glambot for anything else. So This is the Jouer lip gloss in Malibu, and again, I think we can zoom in a little bit maybe. Okay, is that better? So I'm selling that as a set. I like to kind of sell things by brand. If I have multiple items, it saves on shipping, it saves on the hassle of listing multiple things, and anyway, that's what I decided. So getting into palettes, well, one more. This is the Stila Trust in Love gift set. This was from, I think, holiday 2015, and it's the one that looks like an envelope. I have this currently listed. I've received some offers, so it may not still be available by the time this goes up, but that is one that I am saying goodbye to. I guess since I talked about that, well, put a pin in that. I'm going to come back to Stila because I'll try to clear off some of this before I move on. Alright, so I just opened the drawer so I'd have somewhere to put some of these items. Okay, and you may have seen some of these palettes before if you've watched any of my highlighter or sort of other face products like blushes, bronzers, that sort of thing. I decided to just kind of go through everything again, partly because I filmed those videos maybe a year ago at this point. It's been a while. And some new things have come into my collection. And also, just so you can kind of see what I have to store in the places I showed you. So Ashley TIA recommended this, I guess she's a blogger, she has a podcast, I forget her name, I think it's The Slob Comes Clean. So basically people who are kind of like clutter challenged, or just have a hard time kind of keeping things organized. And one thing that she said that really kind of resonated with me was, you have a container, you know, as big or as small as that container is, and the items that belong to that container or that category, you know, you have to fit into that container. So basically you don't get a new container, you have the container you have, and you try to fit, you know, what you have. And you know, you have to, I guess, take into account when you're organizing things in the first place what size container you need. But anyway, long story short, so okay, this is a little Bobbi Brown quad. It's Bobbi Brown's eye palette, and I'm going to be letting this one go. I think I'll sell it through Glambot because I've swatched it, and these shades are just, they're just not like what I kind of reach for. They're a little bit cool toned. They feel pretty nice, a little drier than that one's, a little bit nicer. But I don't tend to kind of reach for these shades. I like a very light lid color generally, and then a more, I guess, mid-tone matte in the crease. And this one, the shimmery shade, is kind of mid-tone. It has a matte, cream, and light brown. So it's just not something I reach for. I'll try not to swatch everything here. So I'm going to sell that to Glambot. Okay. So put that one in the drawer. Alright, I also have from Bobbi Brown the London palette, and I think I bought this sort of when it first came out. So I was like, oh my god, it's limited edition, it's going to sell out. And of course then it's available for a discounted price later on. But anyway, this is the London palette, and I bought this because of the artwork and the cover. You can see it has those metallic gold accents. This is something I would like to display if I eventually have like a beauty room where I have space for it, either on the wall, or I might kind of do some sort of like curio cabinet. But you can see it lifts up, and it has 4 shades and a blush. These shades aren't really my cup of tea. I think the New York shades were actually a little bit more what I like. But anyway, I bought that for the artwork, so I will be keeping that as a collector's item. I don't know where to put the ones I'm keeping. Okay. Similarly, I have the Lancome Audacity in London. I think it's funny how they have Audacity. Open, please. Okay. So that is what it looks like. It has the silhouette of London, and also on the mirror, it says you can peel off, so I guess if you didn't want that, but I kind of like it. Again, haven't really used this. Has a dual-ended brush, I think, but I just bought this as a collector's item. I thought it'd be really cool to like kind of take a high-def picture of this and blow it up and make it into a piece of wall art. So anyway, again, kind of items for the future. Alright, so that is Lancome. I don't have a lot of sort of traditional department store brands in my collection, I don't think. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about MAC. I have two little palettes. This is the Disney Cinderella palette. I've used this a few times. I mainly bought it and keep it for the sort of collector's value. So I will be keeping that. This I haven't used. This is the Magnificent Me palette, and it's an eyeshadow ×9. I think I bought it just because the name was cute. I mean, they're kind of cool tone. I think I could probably get some wear out of this, but I just don't know when I consider the other palettes in my collection. You know, I thought it'd be good to travel with, but I think I'll probably sell this one. Probably put it on eBay if anyone's interested. So again, I will look at what sort of the going rates are, and if there aren't any currently for sale, then I usually look at what I paid for it and what they've sold for in the last couple months. So this is my MAC palette. This is a 15 pan insert, and I forget exactly what shades are in here. I don't really use this that much, but you know, I just threw in a few. I think that one's Satin Taupe. That might be All That Glitters. I can't remember, but anyway, I'll keep this, and you know, it doesn't hurt to have at least one basic kind of MAC palette. Okay, this is the Laura Mercier Eye Art Artist palette. I was kind of bummed. This was a re-release basically, and it used to have, the first time they brought it out, had more of like a pebbly texture, and then they changed it to this like kind of floral, almost like squishy design. This isn't my favorite palette. A lot of people really like it. I think, trying to remember her name. One of the YouTubers I follow really likes that African Violet shade. I will keep it in my collection, but it's not my favorite palette. Okay. Let's see. Alright, so Makeup Geek. This is the Kathleen Lights highlighter palette. I think this is still available for sale on the Makeup Geek website. I got this when it was, I don't know, at a pretty heavy discount at some point. So I will keep it in my collection for now. This is my little Makeup Geek, I guess, travel palette. These are all the foiled shades that I have, so I really like this. It has a nice mirror in it, and they're supposed to be coming out with larger, more kind of Z palette size palettes, so I look forward to, you can see my tripod, I look forward to that so I can kind of have all my Makeup Geek shadows in one place, because they don't all fit in that palette. I have the Manny MUA palette. Has some like adhesive on the side here. I haven't used this, and I looked on eBay just to kind of see what people were paying for them. This is discontinued, and I don't think, have I used it? I don't think so. I think some of the shadow just kind of, you know, moved in transit. I like it. It's one of those like, well, if I haven't used it, how much do I really need it? And just sort of curiosity things. But I looked on eBay and I saw a lot of fake palettes, like people were selling them for like $18, $19, and I'm like, come on. You know, I don't remember how much this was full price, but it was certainly more than that. And if it's a discontinued palette, there's, you know, it's fake. So that prompted an Instagram post where I kind of made fun of one of the sellers, but anyway. And then this is a Makeup Geek branded Z palette. This was obviously before the whole Z palette drama. I have some of her like contour shades, some of the blush shades, and these are just some of her, this looks like a foiled shadow. I don't remember what this one is. Come out. Bouquet Toss, is that Makeup Geek? Oh, this is ColourPop. Okay, so I guess I put a couple of the ColourPop shadows. This is a shimmer shade, and then these might be all matte. So I will be keeping that. Oops. Okay. Alright, It Cosmetics. Do more of the indie brands, although I think this has been sold to some conglomerate or other. Okay, I have two of the Naturally Pretty palettes. I have this face disc, which has the bronzer, blush, and highlighter. Really smooth. I did a video reviewing their like kind of what's it called? I don't know, they have some sort of like TV type special or whatever. I think it's my most watched video, and I think this came as part of that set. So I don't know, I'll probably keep it for now. It's not something I really reach for. Maybe I'll get rid of it in the future. And I always kind of say that you know, the items I decide to keep, should I find that I don't have enough space for them, then I might reconsider, basically. This is the Luxe High Performing Eyeshadow Palette. Got this one a while ago. And some things I use, but then I put back in the box for whatever reason and store them. I don't know. This one, yeah, I've definitely swatched it. Let's see. I mean, they're really nice, creamy texture. Yeah. I'm gonna keep this for now. That's a really pretty color. Yeah, I think I'm gonna keep that one for now. And again, I think this is still available for sale. Last time I looked. Maybe I kept it because, yeah, the shade names are on the back, but they're not on the actual palette, which is kind of annoying. Maybe I'll cut that out or something and tape it to the back. I don't know. That is the Luxe High Performance Eyeshadow Palette. Okay, and then I have these two guys. This is the original Naturally Pretty, and the idea is that you have these matte shades and then you have this like transforming pearl shade. I mean, I'm pretty sure I've used this, but it doesn't, maybe I haven't. Huh. I don't know, all the embossing looks pretty good. Well, regardless of whether I've used it, I do think I will be parting ways with it. This is, ironically, that same kind of annoying velour packaging that the Anastasia palette has, which I can show you. I mean, a little bit different. This is a bit of a finer, this one is more velvety. This is a little bit finer. So, yeah, I think I will be letting this one go. Especially when I have this one. This is the Celebration, and this was a holiday release. This one, I don't know that, here, I'll show you the shades side by side. I'm sure there have been comparisons. So you can kind of see, I think the top one is a little bit warmer, has sunrise, sunset. Yeah, I feel if I need an all matte palette, I'm going to reach for my Viseart one. So there's really no need to hold on to that. But I like the name on some of these shades, which is silly, but the packaging is also, it was like holographic before holographic was cool, or really in, I guess. Okay, so that's IT Cosmetics. What do we want to do next? I have this Tanya Burr palette. I did a review of her shadows with comparing them to Fleur's makeup release. I like these shadows. I think they're pretty good quality. I'm not crazy about how bulky the packaging is, and it's a bit sort of juvenile, but I don't know. We'll think about that one. I kind of like having at least an example of each brand's formula, just in case, you know, I was contemplating a new purchase or they come out with something else. So there you go. Alright, so I have a couple e.l.f. products. This is their illuminating palette. Again, it's the face palette, but I'll keep that. It gets pretty good reviews. People talk about it. This I will be giving to my mom, even though it should probably go in the trash. This is the e.l.f. Come out. Insert. It's the e.l.f. Baked Eyeshadow Palette in the shade, or the Texas collection, I guess. I mean, baked shadows in generally can be kind of difficult, but this one, I mean, you can kind of get things to show up on your finger, but I don't know. I just find the pigmentation a little kind of lackluster, but my mom is not, I guess, as advanced when it comes to makeup, so I will give that to her. And she was born in Texas, so I just kind of thought it, you know, was fitting. Okay. This is just a little Z palette I have. I put the, what do you call it? Physician's Formula. This is really annoying. I tried to put, this is the translucent pearl. I kind of peeled off the sticker and tried to attach it, but it doesn't seem to want to stay on the actual pan, so I might have to, yeah, might have to glue that or something. But anyway, a lot of people talk about this, or at least they used to, as a good drugstore highlighter. I don't think it's necessarily all that, but I don't know. I just threw it in there for now. So I will keep the Z palette if I ever get rid of the pan. That's another story, but anyway. I have two sleek palettes. One I decluttered in my last Glambot sale, I guess. So this one is in Storm. This one is in Au Naturel. Have I used this one? Yes. Again, it has this kind of overlay with shades on it. I don't know what happened to that one, but I guess I will keep these for now. Some of these, it's kind of like GlamBot requires 20 full-size items for you to send them a package, so if I'm getting there but not quite, I might kind of put in some of these items to make up the difference, but they're pretty, as it says, sleek sizes, so they don't take a lot of space to store. This is the Pride and Prejudice and Zombies palette from BH Cosmetics. I haven't used this. Big Pride and Prejudice fan, not a big zombie fan. The movie was okay. It says, celebrate the romantic charm and fearless females of Pride and Prejudice and Zombies with this killer collection of 12 eyeshadows plus blush and highlighter. The drop-dead gorgeous shades will bring your look to life. So to be honest, if it didn't have this text here, I don't know if you can even see it. It says, I will never relinquish my sword for a ring, Elizabeth Bennet. If it didn't have that text there, I would probably be more likely to get rid of it, but I don't know, it's kind of a maybe for me right now. And then also from BH Cosmetics, I have the Foil Eyes palette, which I haven't used as much as I should. I really like the Makeup Geek foiled shades. So these are really nice. I think Tim Talia, this pan's a little bit loose, gave this a very good rating, especially for the price. I mean, really nice kind of, as it says, foiled shadows. So I will keep that. I think they've since come out with 1 or 2 more foiled palettes. But I'm pretty content with just, having this. Again, I don't know why I keep boxes, but I do. Alright, and then one Morphe palette. This is the 35W palette. I had the 35T palette that I sent to GlamBot. These are just okay. I don't really reach for it that often. I think I got this off Hotlook. I might be tempted to get the 35O or the O Shimmer or the Jaclyn Hill palette at some point. But anyway, I have one Morphe palette. I don't feel like I need a ton of those, but yeah. Alrighty, I guess while we're talking about kind of drugstore-ish, this is Kiko. This is the Night Sky palette. It was from, I think, Christmas last year, maybe. And I mostly just bought it for the packaging. Ooh, you can see this. I should just get rid of this. The shades are kind of cool toned. They're not really my preferred colors, but again, I got it mostly for the packaging. This is the Paula's Choice Nude Mattes palette, which I don't think I've used. Maybe I have. It looks like I've swatched. This was a palette that Wayne Goss helped collaborate with. And if it hadn't been for that, I probably would have gotten rid of it, but I kind of like it for that reason. These are some Ofra individual shades that I got off of, I think, Hotlook. And again, I did the thing where I kind of peeled off the label and taped it to the back. I meant to do a review of their shadows, but I never got around to it. It's kind of an awkward palette design, but oh well. Alright, and then some Inglot. This is kind of their standard packaging, I guess. So I have a lot of cool shades here. I got these a while ago. And then, I don't know, these are just some kind of matte colors. And I have some in here. I think I must have another, I think I have another one of these palettes that I, emptied and put in a drawer or something. But these are more, I guess, the colors I would probably reach for, more neutral, a little bit warm shades. Some of these you can see have the 3 parts to it. I have some of those Clinique, like gift with purchase type shadows that I depotted. This is from Krylon. It's in the shade Aubergine. I'll put that in there, and then I think this is, oh, it's a really strong magnet. This is from Trish McAvoy, I believe. Yeah, this is in the shade Shell. So another Z palette, just some random shades in it. All right, from NARS. How are we doing on time? Okay. All right, I'll talk about NARS, then I might split it up and do some more in another video. This is the NARS and God Created the Woman palette. Again, it's a palette I pretty much bought for the name. It's a nice little size though. And then this is the Happening palette. It has the Orgasm Blush and Laguna Bronzer. The shadows themselves I'm not totally crazy about. I don't think it even like specifies. I might sell this to Glambot, especially if I already have. I'm pretty sure I have at least like a mini of the blush and bronzer, and NARS eyeshadows are not really my favorite. You can see how much shimmers in some of those. Yeah, so I think I might sell that one. Alright, and then I have the Narcissist palette. I got this on a sale from beauty.com. May it rest in peace. So I will hold on to this. I think I have, is it Himalaya in a single? But yeah, I want to play around with this a little bit more. Alright, well I'll do Bare Minerals just because it's in my sort of frame here. This is the Ready eyeshadow in the Power Neutrals. Has Boss Lady, Moneymaker, Schmooze, Boardroom, Get Ahead, Magnate, Payday, and Exec. These are a little more cool toned. I like the formula on these Bare Minerals pressed shadows. I think it's small enough that I will hold on to it for now. Might declutter in the future. And then I have this, The Nature of Nudes, and I don't think I've used this. This was, I got it for half off, I think from Ulta. They were running some kind of promotion. A lot of cool shades here as well. I don't know. Sometimes I buy things for the names, which is silly, but I think I saw swatches on the Musing of Muse, her blog, and that kind of convinced me. So anyway, so I'll keep this for now. I might declutter at a later date. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that first part of my palette declutter, and I will pick up with part 2 and keep going. Bye.